Well, that has flown by. Season 2 of Semiosis 101 has come to an end. So what have we learned? Season 2 has used the Semiotic Rosetta Stone as a metaphor for developing a meta-language to help creators understand and apply Peirce's semiotic theory to enhance visually communicating to an audience. What a journey this has been. Who would have guessed lived experiences would be so helpful? Welcome to Semiosis 101's 20th semiotic video and the final episode of Season 2. Season 3 will be previewed next week. If you have watched Semiosis 101 videos before, then you already know I am Dave Wood. Season 2's semiotic theme has been a Semiotic Rosetta Stone, a metaphor to the unlocking and designer-centric translation of Charles Sanders Peirce's semiotic theory of semiosis. Sign action. Why do you need Semiosis 101? Peirce's writing and terminology is very obtuse. In this final Season 2 video, I will review the season's videos to demonstrate what we have discovered about semiosis so far. The Semiotic Rosetta Stone metaphor theme has been a call for a designer-centric explanation of Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory of sign action. This has led us down some interesting paths. Hit subscribe and I will review these. This Semiosis 101 season's first 5 episodes help to orientate you all to what semiotics is and is not. The next 3 episodes then addressed a shift in importance from the creative onto the target audience. Thus, applying semiotic theory in creative work has just got a fresh new focus on interpretation. I began this reorientation by introducing a phenomenological viewpoint to consider your audience by introducing the concept of audience life worlds. To help further focus you all on applying semiosis to semiotically hook and retain the attention of your target audience, I also use pragmatics to show aesthetics as proactive. This opened up the conversation in the next 3 videos to existential ways of understanding your target audience. This introduced a logic of design tool to process your new understanding into useful semiotic clues. Then we spent 3 episodes unpacking how to use that abductive reasoning to build audience hypotheses. At each point in Season 2, where I introduced you to a new philosophical ideas, I began with a semiotics and design book review. These book reviews were of books that helped my own processing and application of Peirce's semiotic theory. The intention of reviewing these books is to help you designers and illustrators to expand your own conceptual understanding of how to apply semiosis. After my first review of 5 important semiotic books, I then paired book titles around each new month's episode's theme to frame the theoretical discussion. In each pairing, I tried to provide a useful academic semiotic theory book, plus either a complementary design or philosophy book. The most recent of these book reviews opened up the discussion on applying semiosis across vast expanse of human development, from present day practice right back in time to our hunter-gatherer ancestors. So let us now review Season 2's contribution to your designer-centric understanding of applying semiosis. Firstly, we have translated Charles Sanders Peirce's obtuse but brilliant semiotic theory into 21st century design and illustration creative practice examples. Secondly, we have positioned the target audience at the centre of the creative practice. After all, it is the target audience we are visually communicating with, and the client's task will only be successful if the creative can hook and retain their attention, semiotically hooking them away from the overload of visual noise that surrounds them every second of their lived experiences. The Semiotic Rosetta Stone metaphor is crucial here. To creators, Peirce's excellent theory may as well be written in hieroglyphics, as it is overly complicated and obtusely written. In FireSigns, Stephen Skaggs' excellent 2017 book, he set out to centre Peirce as a semiotic theory for graphic design. My own visual communication PhD had been published in 2016 by the University of Edinburgh, so this valuable book was too late to influence my own application of Peirce into visual communication design practice. While we diverge on ways to apply Peirce, Skaggs and Semiosis 101 does converge on the importance of Peirce's theory in our creativity. It was of interest to see how, at the time of writing our manuscripts, we attempted almost simultaneously to put Peirce's 10 classifications of a semiotic sign into contemporary creative context. See Season 1 videos 7 and 8 for a quick overview of these 10 sign classifications. I will return to these probably in Season 5 episodes late next year. Soon Semiosis 101 Season 3 will begin, so I will expand on the convergences with Scouse-Scot FireSigns in more depth then. What is crucial here is that I am not the sole voice advocating Peirce's semiosis to help enhance how you visually communicate. Paired with Scouse' book, I reviewed Genevieve von Pettinger's The FireSigns book. Then, last week, I took you all semiotically back at least 1600 human generations. I did this so you can appreciate as a tertiary audience how semiotic sign action with its implicit abductive reasoning logic can be used to decode semiotic meaning. As this Semiosis 101 season has emphasised, we normally only concern ourselves with the target audience. But at this tertiary level, we can now also appreciate how, as humans, we have a long tradition of visually encoding meaning for other humans. Almost like we are hardwired that way. The FireSigns tantalisingly provides this evidence. I would highlight 3 main important Season 2 ways to frame how you design or illustrate. 3 semiotic hacks to enhance your visual communication skills to attract, connect with, and retain your target audience's attention and focus. These 3 fresh ways to rethink how illustrators and designers do what you already creatively do during your ideation phase, unapologetically brings in some philosophical lenses to consider adopting. Peirce's semiosis is firmly philosophically rooted in a phenomenological world. Peirce's chosen logic on which his approach follows has always been described as the logic of design. This is abductive reasoning, from which a working hypothesis can be made to begin to understand your target audience, any target audience. Both of these open up the creative to then explore the existential lived experiences, the life worlds of your target audiences. Peirce's semiosis is built on triadic structures where 3 aspects interact with each other during the semiotic sign action. These phenomenological states are Firstness, Secondness, and yes, Thirdness. Check out Season 1 episodes 115 to 118 to get a grounding in these states. In 4 Season 2 episodes, 2.9, 212, 215 and 216, we explored these states and began to contextualise them into what they mean for creative practice. We did this in the context of the aesthetic decisions creatives take and how this aesthetic can be crafted semiotically to enhance the attention of the audience. We saw this as a way to semiotically strengthen the calls to action the visual communication suggests, whether this is a page turn or a change in outlook, or yes, even to convince them to buy more beans. This season, I presented examples of how you as creators can get better at abduction. No, not kidnapping, logical abduction, or abductive reasoning if you prefer. Stop cutting letters out of newspapers, there is no ransom demands. Abductive reasoning has been called the logic of design. Unlike deductive reasoning that seeks a truth, or inductive reasoning where scientific proofs are sought, this logic looks for the best solution in the here and now. A working hypothesis that can be reviewed and updated as more is known, but a logic that helps creators to begin ideation. In episodes 2.12 to 219, we examine different ways to use working hypotheses to understand the target audience and to use their lived experiences to gain insights to begin encoding with iconic representation. We hacked an audience persona tool, remember? Speaking of audiences' lived experiences, in episode 2.8, I introduced the phenomenological lens of a life world, a philosophical framework in which audiences' lived experiences can be understood. This season, I introduced a new existential term to the exploration of applying semiosis, Dasein. See episodes 2.6, 2.8, 2.9, 212, 213 and 215. Dasein is a German word that the philosopher Martin Heidegger used to understand how we exist in the world and how meaning is constructed from experience. The English translation is being there. This was introduced to help creators to learn from the experience design discipline and to prep you all for considering the audience not as passive consumers, but as active interpreters. Semiosis, semiotic sign action, cannot work at all without interpretation. So we spent time examining target audiences and hypothesizing through 4 existential states of being, their needs. So we end the second season of Semiosis 101 with a fresh perspective and repositioning on your role as a visual communicator. Season 2's Semiotic Rosetta Stone metaphor has helped reframe your creative role as a facilitator of behavioural changes in your audience through what you design or illustrate. Jorge Frascaro would be proud of you. By beginning to encode semiosis in your ideation from insights gained from a working hypothesis, which was developed by using abductive reasoning, you can reveal what visual qualities are familiar to your audience. These qualities offer tantalizing visual semiotic hooks to their attention. Next week, we will preview Semiosis 101 Season 3's theme and have some further exciting news on Semiosis 101's work to make semiotics easier to apply for you, illustrators and designers. So, subscribe and come back. I am Dave Wood, a design educator and researcher, a published design author, and I've worked commercially as both a freelance illustrator and graphic designer. The guy behind the theory, Charles Sanders Peirce, was a philosopher, a mathematician, and a theorist. But he was not a creative. Each week on this Scouse-Scot Semiosis 101 YouTube channel, I will post at least one 10-minute explainer video on an aspect of Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory. Each video will feature a take-home piece of applicable semiotic theory, and they do interconnect to build up your understanding of semiosis. Each free Semiosis 101 10-minute video will use designer-centric terms instead of theoretical language. As a fellow creative and a published design author, I have a link in the description to my Scouse-Scot website. If you're interested in reading my Semiotic Rosetta Stone academic writing, then you can visit my academia.edu link in the description. Any other books on Peircean semiotics or design I have mentioned in the videos are also listed in the description. Check them out too. On the Semiosis 101 Substack semiotic resource, I have support materials for both free and paid subscribers. There are full annotated reading lists, video transcripts, 5-minute reads, plus other goodies and exclusive Semiosis 101 merchandise. The Substack link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Check out the other Semiosis 101 videos, like and share them with your friends. And hit the bell and subscribe buttons to be notified when next week's free Semiosis 101 video is published. You can also follow Semiosis 101 on the socials for updates. It is Semiosis 101 on Instagram and Twitter. See you all again next week for more Semiosis 101 to help illustrators and designers to enhance your visual communication skills.